Welcome to Travel Market Life, your companion for industry insights and professional business development. Travel Market Life. Join us by webcast, video or podcast.
Hello and welcome back to Travel Market Life, and this is Season 3 of Hoteliers Voice. Joining me today is Veryan Palmer, Director of the Headland Hotel Cornwall, and we're going to be looking at adapting with artificial intelligence, looking at alleviating staff pressures, gaining confidence in artificial intelligence, looking to new technology, working with your team, and future changes to hospitality.
Travel Market Life.
Travel Market Life is backed by Haynes Marcoms, a B2B marketing communications PR consultancy specialising in the technologies, travel, hospitality and property sectors. Create meaningful connections and visibility to grow. Haynes Marcoms cuts through the noise to resonate with target buyers, decision makers and influencers. From contextualising your mission to positioning your value proposition, Haynes Marcoms helps you address the issues that matter. Marketing, PR and social. Build profile, gain momentum, shape strategy with Haynes Marcoms.
Travel Market Life.
Joining me now is Veryan Palmer, Director at Headland Hotel Cornwall, where I was fortunate enough for her to join me on the panel at the Independent Hotel Show 2023. Veryan, thank you ever so much for coming along today and actually revisiting the conversation that we had at the Independent Hotel Show. Now, artificial intelligence has really played a key role in alleviating pressures on your team. Can you talk to me about some of the tools you've been deploying?
So I think probably if I can set the scene of sort of June 2020, the government gave us 9 days to reopen just following the first COVID lockdown. And it felt like the whole world was coming to Cornwall, that great summer staycation where we'd had previously almost zero bookings for the summer, to everyone wanting to come and stay. And we had so many dropped phone calls with people saying, hi, do you have COVID protection measures? Can I bring my dog? Which way does an ocean view room face? Obviously the ocean. Someone on my team suggested that we looked at a chatbot, an AI chatbot, to see if it could actually just take the pressure off the reservations teams. And that's what we went with. So we went with Book Me Bob, and it was pretty amazing from the get-go in just stopping some of those phone calls.
I mean, that's really interesting, right? Because, I mean, you're diving into a piece of technology that you never even looked at, hadn't even considered before. I mean, before the pandemic, before all of this craziness actually happened, sort of where was your head when it came to sort of implementing some of these new technologies? Had chatbot been on your radar at all as a director?
Absolutely not. I don't think we'd even considered it as a possibility. And when it was actually one of our team who said, I think there's something we can do which might make a huge difference to the number of drop calls. And we're talking thousands and thousands of drop calls per day. And we were very much led by him, by Josh, in investigating something. We said to him, go, whatever we can do, what are the options? And he proposed the idea of a chatbot. He is very systems and technology advanced in terms of what he proposes to us. And yes, he championed the project from the start.
That's fantastic. You know, obviously having member of your team, having that confidence to feel they can bring a solution forward to you. And you, particularly at that point in time, by the sounds of it, it was like, don't want to be dropping any more of these calls. So you could be really valuable customers. Obviously, you guys at the Headland Hotel have got an incredible reputation for hospitality and customer service anyway, that you just couldn't let that go. But what otherwise has been the impact that it's had on your business and your teams?
I think for me, I mean, just first up, look at the data. So just year to date this year, so this is actually the data from I pulled off in September. So 9 months, our chatbot had 6,870 chats, 276 hours of chat, which saved approximately 825 hours of the team's time. But the really fascinating things are 49% of things were booking inquiries. So, can I have a twin room in this of a Fistral Beach View suite, for example? 6,450 room nights were referred from, please, can I book now? Yes. Okay, I understand what I want now. Would you like to make a booking? Yes. And going straight through to the booking engine. And 1.3 million pounds worth of revenue was referred. It's extraordinary. And this is something that works on our website, just takes care of can you imagine the hundreds, the thousands of emails that the team and reservations would have had to have handled, all the phone calls, if we didn't have this working? And it just sits there like a silent partner on our website, just chugging through all the inquiries.
It is fascinating because, as you say, it's something that you introduced 3 years ago to deal with the mayhem that you were dealing with 3 years ago. Yet, as those figures to date count, really does show the invaluable contribution it provides as another team member, digital team member, to the Headland Hotel. And you mentioned that Josh was one of your team players that really brought this to light. And I guess, you really happen to dive in there around this use of automation and artificial intelligence, which is a technology, as you say, you hadn't used before. When you were engaging with the team at Book Me Bob, what gave you that bit more confidence that it was going to be it was going to work and deliver the sort of like the solution that you were looking for?
I think, to be brutally honest, we didn't know. We were, by all accounts, one of the first hotels to really pick up and run with this live chat idea. It had been present. You'd see it on some of the very big sort of PLCs with a gas company, an electric company, but hospitality hadn't really adopted it. And we didn't know if it was going to work, but we had to do something. We just had, nearly 4 months of lockdown. We were seeing an immense amount of business pressure on a number of people trying to make reservations. And I think people had got to a place where they weren't always looking on their desktop or their laptops. They were using phones a lot. And it's actually quite hard to find things on websites using a phone. You can't do your sort of Control F function to try and find dogs, any mention of a dog. Can you bring a dog to the hotel? So I think it's sort of with the rise of phone usage to try and find information on a hotel website, which for a lot of people is one of their sort of biggest single expenditures in a year is a week of holiday. And so you want to make sure you've got all the answers, and using a chatbot, you can find that very quickly.
That's excellent. And how much have you as a team had to be involved with perhaps in ensuring that the system is evolving constantly? Have you found that it's becoming useful in other ways?
So, when we first did it, it was literally I'm going to call it a data scrape of our website of information. That's how it went live with. But Book Me Bob integrated with ChatGPT, let's say maybe 3-4 months ago now. And so what we're now seeing is a much more intelligent response to people on what they're looking for. So Josh and the team here do look at what people are asking. So when we realized that lots of people were asking us about, are you dog friendly? We populated more images on our website of people with dogs. Stop the questions coming, because so it's almost like it was collecting data about how people were perceiving us from our website, because they couldn't find the information they wanted. So we could then make nuanced changes to the website to make it a better experience for guests.
That's great, and obviously that's what is actually really attracting a lot more guests, and that's what consumers today. I don't know about yourself, but we all want everything at ease. We want everything at our fingertips, and we don't want to have to go searching for it. So you're really providing that solution there. Now, when it comes to sort of like your wider technology stack and wider systems, is there ways in which you and your team have been looking at new technologies in other aspects of your business?
I think we run quite a flat organization in terms of any team member can spot something good, whether it's technological or operational or design, and bring it forward. And certainly there are, I think, having a young team at the Headland, the majority of the team are under the age of sort of 35, has meant that people come forward with very clever ideas that they've seen online, that they've read about, that they've heard about in online forums to approach things. And I think just being open and allowing people to say, I think I've got an idea that we could do that would be better, and do this better or do that better, means that whilst I would say that we're not a technology hungry organisation as such, we're not at the forefront, cutting edge of technology. When we can see that something would work, then we can often move quite quickly. Being an independent family-owned hotel means you can move quickly, make decisions, and go with something. So when there is a different solution to something using technology, then we very much would want to adopt that, yes.
So what advice would you give to other hotel managers to take this approach and work with their teams to really sort of find out those solutions?
I think that it's about finding those team members in your organisation who truly have a love for this area. There are some, there will be some in almost any hotel. There'll be people who naturally spend their free time reading, searching, looking for what's new and what's more cutting edge. Certainly, I am a bit of a technological dinosaur in certain respects, but the team know that they can bring ideas forward and not shutting things down immediately. Technology is moving so fast now that whilst we might not be the first adopters of a new technology, I mean, saying that,
Yes.
what we were, but I don't think we knew it at the time. And I think it's about just making sure that you keep your eyes open to what is coming and what is out there.
I mean, you're so right, Veryan. You know, I mean, I work at the cutting edge of hotel technology. I speak to hoteliers that are really trying to be on that bleeding edge of the newest tech that's coming out. And obviously, a lot of the technology vendors out there that are working with some of the newest systems and developments in that around, particularly as we've discussed today, artificial intelligence. But so much of the industry just isn't. It just either having the right skill sets, the right experience, having the right money and finances to be able to deploy it, or really a better understanding sort of like where it fits into the existing technology and systems. So there's a whole lot to get around whilst you're running a business 24/7, 365 days of the week. So I think we've all got to give ourselves, or certainly those who are running hotels, need to give yourselves a bit of a break and not feel you need to be at that cutting edge. And I think that's one of the reasons why this conversation is so important. It's really understanding what and where is the right time to invest in technology. And as you identified, you had a major problem. You had to find a solution. There's been a lot of talk, particularly on the technology side of the hospitality industry over the last few years, is like the role of automation within hospitality. Do you sort of, are you, how much far ahead do you have to look for yourself in regards to sort of like your team, the skills and experience that you need to use, or perhaps where you go to get that level of support to make sure that, as a business, you're able to adapt to these changes that's happening across the industry?
Wow, that's one big question. I think nowadays a lot of young people are so fast at adopting technology, and also, whereas in the old days you would have had one system and you've learnt that one system or that one process of doing something. Nowadays, so many technological advances are piggybacking and off others, that often people who've got a particular skill set in one can translate it across into another area within technology. It's going to be a continuous learning process for us and for our team at the Headland, and one that we need to continuously invest in. We have a big learning and development program, and ensuring that the team are sort of match fit for technological advances that are coming, such as there's a lot of talk about the role of a sort of an AI concierge in hotels. We're not quite at that point yet, but if we can already start talking to the team about it and about what would the implications be? What would we need to do? Who do we need to look at training and understanding? Because it's going to there's a huge shift coming. Personally, I feel that particularly in the luxury end of the market, that the human element of service, whether it's answering a phone, making a table reservation, is possibly going to be one of the differentiators moving forward. Because if you are paying more money, then hotels can afford to maybe employ more team members to look after you. Because as wonderful as a AI chat or voice bot can be, it's very different talking to an actual person with the challenges of everything that comes with it. So I think it will be interesting to continue our technological L&D within our team, but also still retaining that sort of service, that hospitable service side that people want when they come to the Headland.
I mean, if we take technology aside, push that completely to one side, if you look at sort of hospitality over the last 4 or 5 years, have you seen sort of a change in what guests want, or the way that you need to look at delivering that, perhaps with that younger generation of staff? So
we're slightly unique in that we employ team members from the age of 14 to 86 through the younger team members through our summer placement scheme, and these are the children, because they are still children, who have missed a couple of years of school because of COVID, at quite formative years. And it's been very interesting. I mean, they're like sponges in terms of soaking up information. It's amazing to see, but they still need a lot of social awareness training, and just ability to work alongside people. And I think now people are looking for that very individualistic approach, particularly if you come and stay somewhere like us. You're choosing us because we're not corporate. We are a bit quirky. We are a bit sort of different. If you've got a dog with you, we'll probably know your dog's name, and it probably will get a lot of pats, because that's who we are, and we encourage our team to say hello to dogs who are staying. And I think that's where people are now looking for that unique, different experience in hotels, but very, very different again. If you're traveling on business, you probably want to book a very, I'm going to call it safe, corporate group style hotel. So it's horses for courses, different things for different people. But yes, there's certainly an element of training that we have to do, just to help a lot of our team to understand what 5-star is, what 5-star Cornwall, not formal, which is what we are, means to our guests, but also to them and to each of them individually.
That's wonderful. Veryan, thank you very much for taking us on that journey to explain to us how you've adopted artificial intelligence and really engaged your team in it. It's been wonderful listening to that today.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Well, that's wonderful to have Veryan back with me after our discussion at the Independent Hotel Show 2023, looking at artificial intelligence. For more about our Hoteliers Voice Season 3, please check out travelmarket.life or visit us on LinkedIn, where you'll get our latest updates. I'm your host, Ryan Haynes. Thanks for listening. Ciao for now.
For more, go to Travel Market Life. The music sensation by Zach Nelson is reproduced under license from Storyblocks. Travel Market Life is a Haynes Marcoms digital marketing agency production, serving the travel and technology industries.